Meliagwit. Good afternoon, it's Trisha here, back on again. And I am ready. So I'm just going to wait for everyone to come on. So I am a modern medicine woman. I am a modern medicine woman. I am a Native American guide and I'm a spiritual mentor. And I'm here because, I'm the creator and founder of Deeply Intuitive. Unleash your gifts to attract abundance, to be empowered, and to gain confidence in connecting to your guides. Okay, cool. So if you want to follow me on social media, go to my Instagram.com/trishacondo and follow me. And I'm coming up with new content, new things. Coming up in December and January, there's new things that are coming up. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell to know when I'm uploading. Okay, so make sure that you like this video, that you love it, and you tag your friends. Let them know that this is going on right now. That this is going on right now. Sorry, I was talking, but you couldn't hear me. You're probably here. I'm in my living room right now. My tree is not decorated yet. You can see. I've got my box of, here's my dog. My dog is right here. Say hi. Mwah. That is my oldest. He's going to be 11 at the end of December. That's Bailey. He's really white. But he's my assistant. You can hear, oh good. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Diane. Hi, Rosemary. You could hear? Cool. Okay. So I really want to talk about this. I know there's a lot of light. It's kind of interesting because I have to talk about something. And I really didn't know the significance of the metal box that was actually in my storage. My mother gave it to me, and she's had it for all of her life. I remember seeing it in the basement, and I didn't think much of it until my mother explained it to me just today. And so I really want to talk about this. I really want to talk about the box because it really symbolizes a lot. And it symbolizes this powerful metaphor. Hey, Debbie. It's a powerful metaphor. And I want to talk about a matter of survival and stripping my mother's culture when she, and finally assimilation. That is what happened to my mom. Hi, Chelsea. Thank you for hopping on. So what is this going to be talking? So this is a heavy topic. So if you don't like to hear what I say, you can totally just hop off because this is going to be intense what I'm going to talk about. So when I was talking to my editor, today, I'm in the process of writing a book. It's my first book. I'm writing with my mom. And so with that being said, so when I looked at the box today, I have it in my storage. I'm going to be posting a picture probably sometimes this week. And I didn't think anything of it. She used to put a lot of stuff in there that were for me. And then she told me it would be passed down and all this. But it didn't get the significance of that box. It's actually a trunk. So what had happened is my mother was very, when she was 13. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can't wait for it to come out either. So when my mother was 13, she was very rebellious. And she didn't listen to many of the teachers. So she was sent away. There was actually, at that time, there was no chief. That's what she told me. There was a government agent. So they were called Indian agents, okay? And so these Indian agents actually would take all of these Native kids out of the community and bring them to convents, to what you would call residential school. So, as I was told by my mother, she told me this, and I asked her if I could share the story. She said yes. So what had happened is the government agents gave her this trunk. It's huge. It's about this huge. It's really huge, and it's metallic. And so when they actually gave her this trunk, they told her, you have to put all of your stuff in there, whatever you had before. And so she went to Tracadie, New Brunswick. She was there for a year. And so when she was told, you have to wear a uniform, and I was like, wow, you had to wear a uniform? She goes, yeah, I had to look like everybody else. I had to be like everybody else. I had to talk like everybody else. I had to behave like everybody else. And then she was telling me about these underground tunnels that would connect to a church, connect to the school. And I thought that was so interesting. And she said, yeah, I had to wear this blue uniform, blue and white uniform. And she said, I still didn't listen. She says, I didn't like listening. She goes, but one thing I was really good at was assimilating knowledge. I was very good at reading. I just wanted to know everything. But she said that she still didn't listen. She still didn't listen. She would often be put in the corner, facing the wall. And she said we weren't allowed to speak our language, and we had nothing to represent us. And so the box kind of symbolizes stripping of her culture. So all of her stuff that she had when she walked in was in that metal trunk. And all of her Native identity was in that trunk, in that box. And all of her gifts, everything, just in that box. You're not allowed to open it. You're not allowed to look at it. You're not allowed to really talk your language. You're not allowed to do a lot of not allows, And my mother was very rebellious. So she skipped a grade. And she figured, well, I want to, and she had like kind of good stories and bad stories. And so this was part of her assimilation journey. And she tried so hard to conform so she wouldn't be left out. And so it had a really negative impact. Yeah. And my mother had a love of learning, which she passed down to me. And so this was part of her survival. She had to be assimilated, and she had to learn how to be white. She accepted that. And so the negative impact is, so all of her sense of tradition, she was talking Native, it was kind of going away. Just, that wasn't important. That wasn't valued. That wasn't a sense of worthiness. So her sense of ancestry was not good. It wasn't deemed valuable, not a commodity, right? It was more or less, don't be Native. It's not a good thing. And so part of this, for Indigenous people, this is a huge part. This is a huge part. When you go to residential school, you're told, don't be yourself. Don't honor your ancestors. Don't honor your gifts. Don't honor your guides. Don't honor that part of you. Now it's time for you to assimilate. It was a very lonely time for her. She was very rebellious. She still was rebellious. She stayed there for 1 year. And so she had to lock away a lot of things. And so at this point, she had her abilities also. She ignored them. So not allowed to have this, not allowed to have that. No, no, you can't do that. No, not allowed. It's just always not allowed. You know, you have to conform, be like everybody else so you can feel normal. So she had to leave behind the gifts on her journey, on her assimilation journey. And so what I'm doing with her is I'm teaching her. Now I seem to be the teacher. There's white light right here. I seem to be her teacher. So reclaiming her gifts is part of her journey, the unassimilation journey, if you want to call it. And so I've learned to speak up. I've learned I don't want to be assimilated. Screw that. That's not for me. So I inherited a lot of her traits, a lot of her rebellious traits. Thank God, you know, thank God. So what part of you, if we were to look at this, if we were to look at this trunk or this box as shutting down everything that she's known, that she's grew up in, you know, what part of you, what part of you have you put away in a box that you've conformed to, that you have assimilated? You've shut down your gifts. You shut down that part of you. Who has told you in your past that it's not okay to be yourself? That it's wrong or not normal? Who has told you that? Who has told you that it's, what have you assimilated in order to conform and to be accepted by society? That trunk, that box has come back to remind my mother. I have it in my storage. I will show you what it looks like. Not sure how to answer that. Yeah. For me, I definitely am not, I don't belong in that box. I would light it on fire, but I have it in my thing. She said, I don't want to keep it anymore. I remember her telling me this year, she says, I don't want to keep it anymore. You have it now. I want your daughter to have it. And, you know, as you all know, I don't have any kids yet, you know. So what part of you, this is the box that we were talking about the spiritual closet. What is your box that you're in? You know, what have you put all of your gifts, all of your talents, what have you reclaimed? What are you doing now? Remember, trauma is passed down from generation to generation to generation. Who has passed down any trauma to you? What has been passed down to you? What sense of trauma has been passed down to you? My father, when I was a girl, because I could see spirits, right? So if somebody told you, hey, that's not good for you to see things. When I was a kid, my mom kind of didn't want me to know these things. Was there sort of trauma there? Yes, indeed. It has to do with that box, that trunk. So who passed down these intergenerational traumas of residential school? And it also reflects in your life today. Who told you it's not good? It's not, your gifts are not important, your ancestry, your heritage. Who said that to you? Right. My mother was a teenager in Germany, World War II. Wow. I don't know who passed it down. I knew my father had gifts as well, but never spoke of it. That's it. My mother never spoke about anything when she was my age, like when I was 8 or 9. Didn't want nothing to do with it. She trained me to conform, to be a good ancestor, to be a good medicine woman, not to rock the boat. She trained me that way. There's nothing bad about that. So what have you suppressed? What have you suppressed? It needs to come out. What have you suppressed? You know, this is very intergenerational. It's time to open up the path. It's time to reclaim those gifts that have been hidden in that box. Right? Fear, abandonment. That's right. Fear. You feel like people are going to shut you down. People are going to abandon you. I never knew any grandparents or aunt or uncles or cousins. There's my mom. I only knew my immediate family. My mother never talked much. There's my mom. My mom never talked much about it. My grandmother never talked about it. A lot of people never talked about this. It was like, hush, hush, don't do that. That's my mom right there. Okay. So I'll let you sit with that. Maybe this is what you're blocking in your energy. Maybe you're radiating something new that's been hitting. Maybe that's what's going on with you. So with that being said, this is a very important topic. You don't know your ancestors. Okay. Block seeing spirit. Exactly. That's right. Blocking spirit now I'm reclaiming it again. That's right. That's my mom. Okay, so if you would like to work with me, it is a heavy topic. It is a heavy topic. Does anybody have any questions before I go? It is a very heavy topic, but it needs to be talked about. We need to talk about this. I love it that the rays are going across my face. Yeah. So does anybody have any comments or questions? Thank you, Diane. You hear crying. Yes. You're welcome, Debbie. Thank you for showing up. So if this really resonates with you, I would really appreciate it if you would share this. People need to hear this. Feel the need to do some healing. I can definitely help you with that. So if you need some help, as we all do, we can't do this by ourselves. So if you would like to definitely need some help and support and some guidance and accountability, I would love to talk with you. So there is the link. I'm going to post it again. If you would like a reading also. So here it is. I'm going to post it again. Okay. Thank you for showing up. I really love it if you would share it with people. Let them know this is going on. I don't know why that live link is still there. Ah, okay. All right. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. You have a good night, and I'll see you maybe on Wednesday. You'll see me again. Okay. Definitely for Friday. All right. You have a good night. Well, my language, up na multas.